We've had yet another massive rejection here for Bitcoin. All right. What does this mean? Let's talk about it right here, right now. What's up, guys? My name is Edward Ornelas. This is the Cryptocurrency Mastermind. If you like technical analysis and Bitcoin analysis to be specific, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button and notification bell. Let's talk about it, okay? So, if you guys have been paying attention this week with Bitcoin, we had a massive fake out not too long ago, right? So if you zoom in on the 4-hourly, you could have seen right here that Bitcoin was beginning to uptrend. And a lot of people were pretty bullish that Bitcoin was going to break out, right? We were going to see a nice, massive run up. Next thing you know, out of the left corner came this massive rejection wick, right? We were quickly shot down and it took us back down from highs of around 8,800 down to close to around 8,200 or so. Anyways, fast forward around 2 days later, we reattempted another breakout this morning, Sunday morning actually, and once again we're quickly shot down. A lot of people might be saying, well, the markets are just being manipulated. This could be a bull trap or a bear trap, as I guess you can say, right? Trying to get the people to sell their Bitcoins before the next move higher. And personally, I disagree with that statement. And let's talk about why I disagree, that this isn't necessarily a bear trap, but rather the market's just giving us a clear signal that bulls aren't ready to take off just yet. And let me point this out, all right? So let's pull up the exponential moving averages. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the exponential moving averages. I've utilized these throughout the entire run-up that Bitcoin had back in 2017. They helped me determine, good support buy-in areas where Bitcoin would bounce off of them, right? So every single time Bitcoin would bounce off of the 140 and the 200 exponential moving average. But this time around, if you actually look at Bitcoin on the daily, you can see that we're actually below those exponential moving averages, right? You can see that this little orange line right here is actually enacting as resistance, meaning we can't get above that, and we've struggled to do so ever since. So if we go back to October 11th, which was around 2-3 days ago now, we were attempting to break above that 200 exponential moving average. Next thing you know, though, we were quickly shot below it, and we did not get a daily close above that at all whatsoever. This morning, again, we did attempt another breakout right here. You can see that we did try to get above that 200 exponential moving average, but we couldn't even get above that. We couldn't even get above the 18 exponential moving average, right? This little black line right here. So again, for a lot of people, they might be looking at this saying it's just being manipulated. But for me, it's showing us a pretty clear signal that the market just really doesn't want us to get above that resistance area. And as right now, if you look at the volume's also showing a really, really weak signal, right? Look at that. We're seeing a decline in volume. Mind you, this is buy volume right here, right? So this is sell volume was this big old candlestick right here. This big old candlestick was the sell volume. Buy volume for the past couple of days was this right here, meaning that we have a lot more sell pressure than we do buy pressure, and that is not a good thing whatsoever. We need to see these roles reverse, where we see the candlesticks on the buy volume increase like this, right? They start to dramatically exponentially increase over time, and that lets us know that, hey, people are starting to buy Bitcoin here. But the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people that are scared and just frankly aren't going to buy Bitcoin. And for that matter, neither am I. All right. We haven't managed to get above that 200 exponential moving average. We've already had 2 major rejections off those EMAs, and volume for buy pressure isn't there right now. And so to put it to conclusion, for me, this just lets me know that Bitcoin is very likely, and again, I hate to be that guy, but I think it's very likely for Bitcoin to see another massive leg towards the downside. And I know a lot of people don't want to believe that or even think about that, right? But truth of the matter is, that's just what the market is telling me. That's what these charts are telling me and have been telling me now for the past couple of months. And if you actually look at the weekly, right? So if we zoom out on a higher time frame, right? Higher time frames play a huge role, right? So let's take out the volume really quickly. So you can see right here throughout Bitcoin's history, any single time we were running up, again, we never managed to get below these exponential moving averages on the weekly. Yet on the weekly over here, we're right below, again, similar to what we had with the 200 exponential moving average on the daily. On the weekly, we're below those 18 and 36 exponential moving averages, right? And you can see right here, we have not had a single close above for the past couple of weeks, right? So the first time around was back September 23rd. September 23rd was the first time we closed that weekly below. The second time around was, of course, September 30th, then the 7th, and of course today, the 14th, right? So you're probably watching this Monday, but basically what I'm trying to say is we have had already 4 consecutive daily or weekly closes, right? Weekly closes below that exponential moving average. And if we continue to do so, right, for the next couple of weeks, right? So we could probably very well retest these, continue to retest this for at least maybe 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, who knows? Eventually, you know, the EMAs are going to cross below and we're going to see a massive leg towards the downside. And if I'm being honest, that's kind of what I'm expecting. All right. And as much as that sounds very awful, you know, personally, I'm on the sidelines. I haven't really bought Bitcoin at all. In fact, I sold it way back here, back at 13,000 or so, because at that point, Bitcoin to me was showing signs of a double top, right? And we had talked about this months prior, right? So if you go back and watch our videos, we had talked about how Bitcoin, when it starts to double top like this, it shows signs that we're going to be going down, okay? So to me, this just shows that this is the start of a potentially a larger downtrend that we're beginning to experience. And you're probably saying, well, how much further down are we going to go, right? If you're this bearish. And this is how I'm going to end it off. But personally, right? So if we again zoom out on the weekly channel and let's pull up our little trend line that I like to draw out, right? So let's pull up the little curve charts. Let's go up here. Let's connect the dots. You know, it's really that simple. Literally just connecting the dots. And more or less, we're just going to do a little bit of a guesstimate, right? A guesstimate. And if we line up this little curve linear log scale with the current EMAs, I mean, guys, that's as bad as it sounds, that could very well take us down towards like 5,500 or so. I don't know if we're ever going to get that low towards 5,500, but I am at least targeting close to around lows around 6,500, maybe down there towards 5,500, right? And again, that's a total guess. That's on my part. I can't say that that's what's going to happen whatsoever, but it is a possibility. So be sure to keep that in the back of your head. And as long as we remain below this trend line, you can see this bear trend right here, then that's going to be the case. You know, we're just going to continue to keep going down and down until we finally cross above this bear trend that I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks. Okay, so I'm going to end it off there. Let me know what you think, if you disagree or agree, and I just want a full thoughts, you know, on that. And with that being said, be sure to follow me or follow the cryptocurrency traders group on Facebook. Link's going to be in the description below for you to go check that out. We post technical analysis, our thoughts. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them there. We're quickly growing. We're already at 300 members. When I first started it, we were at less than 20 members. So, so we're definitely growing, and I want you to go check that out. Be there, be square. And hope you like this video. Again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton. All right. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one.